Hello, beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. This is your second reading of the day. If you want to see what all of these mean, you just click on the little icon below the video, the little round one that has my channel name on it, and just that'll send you to the home page, and you'll be able to look at the video before this one. So, this morning we were talking about the past and how that road has led you to a more tender, open heart. I wanted to say, first of all, because this Say You're Sorry is coming in, it's talking about forgiveness again. I'd like to thank all of you who took the time to watch all the videos 2 weeks ago and last week as well, when forgiveness came in, playing a big part in all the readings. The ones who, I saw some of those videos had tremendous, wonderful views. And I know some of you are hurting. We all get hurt. Our hearts get smashed up a little bit. I know how that feels. I know as Pisces, sometimes we get accused of being too sensitive or too tender-hearted, and I myself know this for sure. Oh, you're way too sensitive. And my answer to that now is, I don't think that's a bad thing, to have a heart. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, right? In the past, you have said you're sorry for something. Maybe something you did to somebody, because as much as we like to think that people do things to us, sometimes we say and do things that don't feel good to everybody. And, it's not to judge or anything. It never is to judge. It's just to say that you're human. It happens. We get upset. We say things maybe in the wrong way, and it hurts somebody else. Or sometimes we misunderstand because we assumed people knew or did something. But in the past right here, I feel there's a lot of hope, because you've seen both sides, you've understood both sides, and even if you still don't agree with the other side, if you take responsibility for your actions, it makes it okay for people to say they're sorry. Now we all know the people who are chronic sorriers. You know who they are. They always say, I'm sorry, but they don't mean it, because they do the same or very similar. Sometimes the very next minute. Some are very chronic. And to those people, well, I don't know. I don't know really what to say about them. Maybe the best thing you can do to people like that is when they say, I'm sorry, you can say, I'm sorry, but I don't accept your apology. Because I don't think that it means anything. I think it's just words to you. It's a free get out of jail card for you, and I don't accept it. Don't say you're sorry to me unless you mean it, unless it's heartfelt. And heartfelt, in other words, I'm sorry for what I did and I'll try to do better than the other part, right? And by stopping people in their track, you might actually make them realize that they just speak those words without knowing the meaning. Never know, might help. Look at this, you are loved. I absolutely love this, because it's saying going forward, regardless of those people, the people who do matter, they do love you. They love the fact that you're taking the time to ask for forgiveness. Adventure awaits. I love this. Because of it, I like this, because you had the Chariot and the Six of Swords. It's all kind of coming in, saying that you've got great stuff coming in because of all the work that you've done so far, Pisces. Absolutely. I feel that too. I feel that you have great things coming in. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to take the Sign of the Times as a deck for the Middle Oracle, because I can, and it's new, and I want to. All right. Joy. Remember yesterday, your purpose to life is joy? Huh. Mountains, obstacles, but it's also got a road. How? Look at this. Look at this. Look at all these cards, Pisces. Look at these together. This is from this morning. It's so fitting. This road going down the hill. The Ten of Wands. The Chariot. Going towards something. Perseverance. Okay? Look at all these cards. And then you have obstacles with the mountains. Number 5. Hard cards. They're the cards of work. They're the ones who are telling you, you're going to have to work at this. Yeah. You've been through obstacles. Peace, harmony, fences, boundaries, and not relationships. So, absolutely, if you look at these all make sense. Because we are definitely talking about relationships. This is definitely what is, I feel that all over the place here. If in the years before we were really working on ourselves, right now we're working on love. You even have the King of Cups here. Okay? And you have the Ace of Cups right here. Relationships. You're working on the boundaries. You're working on harmony. Okay? As I said before, even though, like I said, every time I deal with forgiveness or saying you're sorry, some people say, never going to say I'm sorry. Never going to say I'm sorry. Why should I be sorry? Okay? This is the thing. When you ask forgiveness, not only for the other person, you ask it for yourself. You give yourself the gift of forgiveness. Because forgiveness makes your heart stop closing off, start opening back up, and you let go of this terrible energy that follows you around. So in the past, that's absolutely, when you went looking for joy, you realized that you had to make peace with what was coming in. Happy faces on her. Yeah. The obstacles to peace was the boundaries that you had to face. The boundaries that you had to build, okay? In other words, it's like, I will be better at not hurting people, okay? And I will be better at not letting other people hurt me. In other words, you don't, first of all, don't let the people who are chronic hurters keep coming back at you, okay? If you keep putting yourself in settings and places where people are going to hurt you, or settings that are just inappropriate, maybe you need a different setting. You need to get somewhere else. You need to do something different. Okay? Absolutely. You may even need to move. There's the move card right here. You may need to go somewhere where the atmosphere isn't so toxic to you. Okay? And then you need to put that beautiful boundary. That fence is gorgeous, but it's also there to show you that you can see through it. But it's also just to let people know that there's certain things that are not going to happen. Okay? There's a slow up here, definitely. If you want to get to the other side, you've got to stop. You've got to ask questions. You've got to do certain things. You've got to pay attention. Absolutely. So that when you do knot up in the relationship such as this and form a tie to someone, it's one that's good. That can be career, it could be people, it could be anything. Okay, even yourself. We have some very toxic relationships with ourselves. We have some very toxic conversations with ourselves. We lean on everybody else. We even lean on our spiritual guides because we don't trust ourselves, and we should. We're spiritual beings. Okay, when we're honed in to ourselves, we should know exactly what we need to do or where we need to go with it. So you have the number 30, 5, another 3 here. You have 8, working hard. No, yes, 8, and 8 again, working hard. So this is the work. This stuff is the launching pads. And that's the obstacle, exactly what it's called. That's what you need to work on, the obstacles. How to find the things, right? Very nice cards. Very nice cards, by the way. It's a new oracle card. It's called the Sign of the Times Oracles from Hay House. I'll put the link with the rest of the cards. By the way, if you ever go to that link in the description box and you can't find the cards that I have been using, let me know. I'm just human. I may forget to add them sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to take from the Sacred Creators Oracle. Find your sacred flow. And I was talking about that at the beginning, right? I was saying the desert here. Absolutely. Okay, when I was looking at these cards, I was saying, you're working. There's that 8 again. 8, 26, 8, 35, 8. That's the work that you're doing here. Okay? You brought yourself back into water. It's time to find your flow of beauty, of happiness. Cozy up with risks, or risk. Oh yeah, there's 3 again. So if you're seeing 3, 3, 3, don't be surprised, Pisces. That's 7. Unstick the stuck. Beautiful. I like unstick the stuck. So this is all the past. You did unstick the stuck. It's already done, Pisces. You've already done this work. I'm going to take a look at which one. Let's look at harmony and relationships. So harmony is 12. The peace sign, the most universal known symbol of peace. It's saying that you're entering into this peaceful sign, into this harmony. Life is about to get good, my beautiful Pisces. Okay? It's important to be present in these moments, that the good moments that are coming in, this tenderness that you've worked so hard for. And to embrace the ease of it too, because we seem to embrace what's going to be hard. I spent some time talking to somebody last week who was just, she says, when the worst happens, I always stay thinking the worst, even worse things are going to happen. It's almost feeling like it'll protect me from anything worse off to happen, so I don't feel like if something bad happens, then I'll be taken by surprise. It's like feeding the negative, even more negative, in hopes that it'll be more positive, if you understand. And I know some of you understand that. And we tend to do that more than we do when something good happens. We turn around and say, when's the other shoe going to drop, and when was something bad going to happen? Instead of going, well, the good has happened, now what more good things could happen, and how much more wonderful is life? And instead of just thinking of the very best of things, we tend to downplay the best of things. So they're saying, don't do that. The more you embrace, the more you open the door for great things to happen. It's when you expect things to happen that you get disappointed. But there's nothing wrong with thinking this is great and I invite other great things. You know, like that happening would be great too. And that happening would be fantastic too. But be very loose about it, but be very optimistic. Okay? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? Your relationships are going to improve as well with this peace, this harmony side, right? instead of so heavy and trying to fix all the relationships you have and putting them in different boxes, you might actually have time to be like playful and happy and content and joy. Remember, your purpose is joy. Remember yesterday? Your purpose is joy. So there's the ups and downs of life. This talks more about the ups of life and what's coming in for you. So don't worry how long it'll last or if it's too good to be true. But just bask in that beautiful energy. Okay? Oh, the additional meanings for this card, it says reconciliation and apologies. There you go. Enjoy people and activities that make you happy. Peaceful endings that bring new beginnings, inspired by life. Peace. Just, I'm telling you, Pisces, this is absolutely synchronistic in the way that it's coming in. It's all connecting together, of course it is, right? And the fence, the boundaries, they're talking about the importance of putting boundaries in relationships in life. And even in forms of self-care, which I hadn't talked about, but that's true as well. It defines what's yours and where people can and cannot have access. And sometimes it's good to not let people have access to your energy, because some people will suck the energy out of you, but it's because you let them. Okay, it's not always because they're coming at you, but it's because you let them. And who doesn't take what's offered to them, right? If you come to me and bring me a beautiful energy, I will gladly accept it. I will feed off that energy. We are spiritual beings. We actually do feed off of each other energetically. But if somebody is coming at you wanting to just kind of take away from you because theirs is not so great and yours is good, and you let them, and you don't have boundaries to say, hey, whoa, I'll share with you, but you got to be better here. It's going to happen anyway, right? Yeah. So it's not that you don't want to put boundaries around your heart. But like I said, this fence, you can see through it. It's not a great big brick wall. That's the difference. Okay? People will always ask a lot of you. Okay? But by being deliberate and communicating those boundaries, you can communicate. You can just set them up as a reminder to stand up for yourself, to be determined and persevere when it comes to those things, right? It's a nudge so that people know how to treat you as well. And you can, trust me, if you put a boundary to people that are users, you're going to lose them. Because they know that they won't be able to use you. They'll disappear. Honestly. It's happened to me all the time. I have people come in, they want to use, and as soon as I go, look, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. The people who truly matter, they never really test those boundaries, I find. The ones who just want something from you, they always test those boundaries. And until you say no, as soon as you say no, they kind of just float away like air. It's kind of funny how that happens too. Okay? Sometimes it feels awkward and uncomfortable to do these things, especially as Pisces, when we open up our hearts. And especially, I keep telling you that tenderness is important. Just remember, Pisces, that it's important for you to have that. It's about self-confidence and self-assurance and taking care of yourself. Because sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. All right, the last one I'm going to look at is not relationships. And see what it has to say here. It's kind of pretty. It's asking you to look how bonds are formed in many different ways. So 2 or more ropes can come together and represent union. Or sometimes a knot can be made in a single cord, meaning a strengthening with oneself. That's really important, okay? Knots highlight business, platonic, romantic relationship. And again, it's talking about being nudged to really look and focus on what's important to you. These relationships that you form, okay? Where you can have improvement. And again, you have these strong bonds right here. These 3 hands connected together. Okay, and where is the other one? I think it's here somewhere. Yeah, the 3 of Cups. Okay, these are all about relationships right here. Beautiful Pisces. Okay. Again, knots can mean complications, right? You have a knot that you can't take apart. That's kind of scary too. And that requires time and care. A knot is a perfect example of how complicated and bound we are to our relationships. So this is asking you to really look at what is worth your time in your life. What relationships are you willing to put energy into? I knew for people that I loved very early on, I think, or earlier, so I'm happy about that. There were still a few. I have great problems with the great manipulators of the world because they do it in such a way that they're not really letting you know they're manipulating you. And sometimes you don't even realize you've been manipulated until they're gone. And that one I still have a hard time with because an open heart is sometimes a greatest invitation for manipulators. But I usually know after the first meeting. I mean, not during the meeting, but after the meeting, I get that nudge to know that this is going to turn out not well. And I'm very proud of myself because I find that they're very devious. Unfortunately, we have all types of people in the world, right? Just don't be too harsh on them. Sometimes they're taught that to survive, okay? They had to use it in their lifetime to get to where they are. So I'm not saying allow the bad behavior to continue, but again, forgive them because there may be a lot of things you don't know about them. It doesn't mean you need to be around them. You just need to put those boundaries and say, look, I'm sorry. I'm not going to play this game with you. You can even tell them, I see the manipulation going on and I am not comfortable with it. Okay. I don't know what else to say. This is a lot about relationships. I feel like I've been talking more about relationships than anything else. You have some really great ones. You have some not so great ones. But I feel that you've done a lot of work. The important part is to surround yourself and keep yourself open. Okay? All this hard work is so that you can create a safe place with healthy boundaries and to not get stuck in pain and hurt and a closed heart. You want to flow in your energy. You want to be cozy with risk. In other words, if things don't, even if things are not perfect or people, are people, you are still so well and comfortable in your own body and mind that you're all right with it, okay? You can still manage, you can still flow in your own energy, in your own beautiful water tenderness without having to close up shop, okay? All right, Pisces, that's it for me, and I will be back tomorrow. We're going to look, I do believe it's your crown that we're going to be doing. In other words, it's going to be the spiritual help. Spirit's going to come in and say, and help you with your journey. They're going to have, they're going to give you tips and advice, which is perfect. I love it when they come in and give you a little bit of, let's think about this, maybe sometimes / homework to do, to help you on the journey. Take care of yourselves. I'm sending you love, light, and blessings. Bye for now.